Merry Thanksgiving.
Hello, and welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? How you feeling? I mean, we have some U Up news desk items.
Yes. Gotta discuss.
Yeah, Pookie and Jett, you said they had a kid?
I keep getting bombarded with news articles about them having a baby and him getting her a Birkin as a push present.
What's a push present? I am so far outside of this world that everything sounds stupid to me.
A push present is the gift you get your wife when she has your baby. As a special thank you for her pushing the baby out of her vagina.
The name is horrific. We have to do something.
Push present.
Here's the push present. Like it makes me
feel like you're a cow.
A cow or a push pop. Makes you sound like the vagina just works
prize.
Yes. So he got her a Birkin?
So he got her then it made Us Weekly wrote an article. He got her a Birkin as the thing. Everything about this was infuriating to me.
I know nothing. Let me just start with I know nothing. Because for some reason, Pookie and Jett have left my feeds since we talked about them last. And they are the internet couple who he's in love with everything she does. Yes. And they're Southern and
they love money and outfits.
Right. And he says nothing. And he says
she looks great.
The power of the internet is to be good looking and say nothing. Those are the most successful internet people.
He's not saying nothing. He's saying like all of the things you're supposed to say.
Right, that's nothing.
In a rom-com.
There's no nuance to that.
Right.
She is a goddess on earth.
She looks right.
Yeah, that's nothing to me.
Yes.
Like that on the Richter scale of like how I like judge a person, nothing.
Yes.
I think he's a liar actually. There's not one day he's like, Pookie, pick it up a bit.
Right. This outfit.
Pookie was a little annoying today.
Not super flattering on your legs.
Pookie had an attitude.
Right.
You know, I don't know if I want to do the video today.
As I've said, it's not real.
So I'll stop interrupting. What's the deal? They had a kid?
They had a kid.
She pushed it out of her vagina and she got a Birkin?
Yes, and she got a Birkin. So again, it really checks with their whole thing. It's like transactional. It's very like my object created another object. And so now
I love how you look at them.
Everything wrong with the society. I think
it is. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I just think it's so funny. Like someone commented on YouTube on another episode. Like, don't hate me, but I suggest your podcast to all my patients in psychiatry.
Why would we hate you?
And I was like, why would I? That's an amazing compliment. Yeah. But I'm like, I guess it's understandable that someone could listen to this show and we're like, ugh, Pookie and Jett had a baby and think that we're haters, but we
are a little bit.
Hater to me, we're just
as a critical
talking
lens.
honest. Yeah, critical lens.
Yes.
If you buy everything at just face value, then I don't know how you're I wish I lived like you.
I mean, I'm not trying to cancel them. I'm not trying to destroy their lives, but I'm just trying to say that if you like them, there's something wrong with you.
You're right. This is the problem with society. Just talking about something, it's like, cancel them. No. The people who go that next step, they're just as disgusting as Pookie and Jett.
Totally. I mean, even like I've talked about how I don't like Justin Timberlake on here. When Justin Timberlake got arrested for his DUI, I got all these DMs like, did you see? Like, how excited are you? Like, I'm like, no, I don't want him to get it. I don't want him to just because he's not my taste. I don't want his life to be destroyed.
No,
like, what's going on here? I'm like, I just don't like his music.
Right.
Like, I don't wish for his like arrest and
his utter demise. I'm
or it's
with
like you always knew he was a piece of shit. I'm like, no, I didn't even say that. I just said I'm not a fan.
Also. Everyone is redeemable to me. Like, I do live in a world where, like, if Justin Timberlake walked into Betches and he was like,
I would ask for a picture.
Right. And then if he was like, hey, I heard you, like, you're not a fan of my music. I
would deny it. I would
What? No. Yeah.
I'm an internet troll. I would say it behind his back.
Right.
And be very nice to his
face. But then if he like owned it and he was like, yeah, some of my early stuff I'm not really into either.
That's
but
a little much.
Yeah, but you know what I really like is the blues. And you'd be like, what? Like I could be charmed by anyone that I've like, and also sometimes like people just don't, I would never want to hear the opinions of me. I don't need to hear those. So that hurts to hear someone's honest, critical review of you because it's critical. It's tough to hear.
Yeah.
But I
would prefer someone say it to my face, though, I guess. Maybe.
Would you?
I don't know. You might have to, I guess you'd have to figure out your reaction in the moment. Maybe you wouldn't.
I would actually want to watch the whole conversation. I would want to watch the person being critical and then the other person going, well, I'm kind of a fan. I want to hear like both sides of it. That would help me out on that.
I mean, it's definitely hard to be objective when it's you. But we didn't even get to the best part.
Sorry. Well, please. I'm sorry.
The name reveal of Pookie and Jett's new object.
It can't be, what, is it Birkin?
It's close.
Louis Vuitton?
It's close. It's not Rolex, but it is close. Candace,
Prada?
do you wanna do the reveal again? She told us this, but okay, a little behind the scenes. She told us this before, and we snorted.
I should have thought that through before I read it out loud to you.
Yes.
The baby's name is Paloma.
Paloma.
It's actually perfect. I think.
Paloma.
I think it's perfect for them.
What is their last name?
Puckett.
Paloma Puckett?
Oh my
I
god.
called her Mini Pookie in the caption.
Mini Pookie?
Mini Pookie, Paloma Puckett.
Paloma Puckett.
Oh my
PP.
god. I couldn't hate this couple. Imagine having a child, a miracle brought into this world, and you name it after the worst fucking brunch drink. And like, imagine what kind of asshole you have to be like to look at this child that you created that's a new life, and I'll name you Paloma.
I'm the worst to tell names to because I immediately go for like, now I'm PP and go for a PP and Mr. Paloma.
Have you ever thought about your children's names? Do you have some thoughts?
I've never really thought of it.
Never. Do you think it'd be like whatever their mother wants?
Yeah, I kind of consider like I have some like people who are dead who I have in the sheath to honor, but like to me, we
got a big bucket of deads to choose from.
Let's go in the dead bucket, and you're in Irving.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like old name on a baby. Like I like bringing back names that are old. Like my brother's name, I like his name more than I like my name.
Okay.
Like he's a
Jared's
Harry.
not an older name.
Jared, I don't even know where it comes from. I don't even know.
Where did you ever ask your parents?
I never even cared to ask. Jared was never.
No idea.
Do you like Jordana?
I didn't like it when I was little because I wanted like a name that like everyone else had. Like I wanted to be like an Ashley or Nicole or like Lauren or whatever it was because it was just like easier. But now I like it. Now that I mean, at least it's not Paloma.
Paloma's
like,
rough.
Really, that's
Pal.
tough.
What do you? I mean, Paloma's also just a mouthful. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's do some name meanings. What's Jared? What does the name Jared mean?
Big cock. What?
What? Say it again. What does it mean?
Jared means descending or descent.
Descending or descent?
I think that's
so
what
my
name
is
means
like
too.
that I'm spiraling?
I think that's what my name means too. What does Jordana mean? I think it's off of Jordan,
It
obviously.
means to flow down.
Yeah, so they're
To flow down.
Both of our names mean we're on the way down.
Right.
We peaked.
Two negatives. Our
It
names
is weird,
translate
isn't
to haters.
Yeah.
What does Paloma stand for? It's like bright heavenly soul or something.
No, they said it in the caption. Paloma means dove.
Dove?
Doesn't Paloma mean the drink, a Paloma?
Doesn't it mean
A cocktail?
messy Sunday?
They said that in Italian it means dove, and that is where she was conceived in Italy.
Oh,
I'm
gonna vomit.
Oh, get out of here.
I hate that shit.
The conceived.
conceived?
I hate the conceived
No.
thing.
Oh my god.
There is nothing more hateable because now we're talking about you fucking.
Yeah.
And it's
Don't
like
bring
this,
that
like,
into this.
Right.
No one wants to be like hearing about that.
Conceived is like the equivalent, like we named it after where we conceived the baby.
Yeah.
Is the equivalent of like putting emojis over your feet in the picture. It's like we weren't even sexualizing this.
Right. You made us think this way.
You brought us here.
Make your weird robotic sex. Ugh. I don't want. Ugh.
God damn you, Pookie and Jett.
Paloma is where we got the Birkin and the baby.
So we were talking about like what would be the most offensive thing for someone to call your wife.
Yes.
So if you're like with your girlfriend or wife
Okay.
and a guy is like in an argument
Talking
with
about
me.
you.
So like I'm in an argument with a guy and then he just like decides to fuck with me by like making fun of my wife.
Okay.
So we were like, here are it was a discussion. We were trying to rank which would be the worst.
Okay.
And we weren't sure what would make your wife need you to fight him the most.
Okay. Like,
you know
what's
what
the
I mean?
meanest thing you could say to
So-
a woman? Can you describe the woman?
This is your description of her. It doesn't matter what she looks like. You just
Okay.
say this, and
Okay.
because you said it, it's true. So,
All right.
would it be worse to call a woman dumpy,
Okay.
frumpy,
Okay.
or middle-aged?
The worst. I think Dumpy is the worst.
Dumpy's the worst.
Dumpy, I think, like, she's like a dump truck. She's just like,
That's how you receive
yeah,
it.
that's how I take it.
Yeah, because we were like, because it would go like,
Right.
oh, fuck you, and fuck your dumpy wife.
Dumpy's mean. Yeah.
Dumpy
Here's
is
the thing.
like harsh.
Middle-aged, that's just like a factual thing. Like, she's either is middle-aged or she's not. And if she's not, it's just like, that's not true.
Right, but if she's 32,
That's not middle-aged.
but it's offensive.
Yes. Well,
You know what
I
I mean?
guess,
Like the
right.
age matters. Like if I'm 39, I'm with my 39-year-old wife,
Mm-hmm.
and some guy goes, "Get the fuck out of my face!" and your middle-aged wife.
Your middle-aged wife, too.
Like it's so specific
Yeah.
that it has to be something he thought.
Like, she looks old.
She's just middle-aged, frumpy. You know,
Right.
but you got to separate the two. So,
Yeah.
you know, you don't use them in the same. If you put them together, that's like
Okay.
you murdered
I
someone.
still think Dumpy is the worst.
Dumpy's the worst.
Then Frumpy.
Okay, so
Then middle-aged.
fuck you and your frumpy wife.
That means if someone
Frumpy.
if someone said that to Mike, I would be like, I need to get a new wardrobe. But that's fixable. That's fixable.
So frumpy's fixable,
Frumpy,
dumpy's
if someone was like,
unfixable.
there are days I do look quite frumpy. I wear like old sorority T-shirts and like sweatpants.
Could
from, like,
Mike ever look at
years
you and
ago.
go, would you be okay if Mike goes, looking a little frumpy today?
No, I would kill him. But but at the same time, like I will personally am self-aware enough to know that there are many days when I do look pretty frumpy.
Right.
But I'm not, putting out
Just
my
don't
A
talk
game.
about it.
Yeah, he would never say that. He knows he's a smart guy. He would know. but I think frumpy is like I could look frumpy. I can fix it. Maybe I didn't really put much effort into my outfit that night. Someone says frumpy. Fine.
If someone called my girlfriend frumpy, I would laugh immediately. Like I couldn't help
That's not that offensive. I don't think.
It's not that offensive.
Yeah.
Dumpy is worse. Dumpy is like a person.
Dumpy is like that. Your essence of like
Just a dump.
just a dump. Yeah.
And
just
middle
like-
aged is like
Middle
is
aged is like
third.
we're all gonna be middle aged one day. Like, don't be so offended by it. One day we will all be middle. We'll,
easier
it's-
said than done.
It's coming. It's coming around the corner.
Is there a male version? I kept thinking.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
kept thinking about
what,
that
What
too.
is like the male okay,
I don't know.
well,
I
here's
feel like
another.
I'm trying to think of like what's mean for a man.
Would you rather be told you look tired or you don't look like yourself?
I don't look like myself. I hate
That's
tired. I hate
tired
being.
is
Mike
annoying.
knows that I hate being told I look tired.
You'd
Sometimes he'll hint around it. He'll be like, "You look like maybe you could use a nap."
That's a fun. I agree with that.
Because I'm like, don't say tired. I don't know
Right.
what that means.
Tired
means
wouldn't
you
get
look
to me.
like shit.
I have to be tired
You
to
don't-
look tired. If I'm tired, it is one of those things. You got to nail it. Like if you can't say to someone they look tired
Right.
when they've had a full night's sleep and they're
Yeah.
like, "This is just how I look."
Or you need to offer. It needs to be like with the attempt to like assist them in some way. You look tired. Let me do the thing, the annoying chore that you were gonna do.
Right. You don't look like yourself is something is the direction nobody takes.
I mean, I might take that positively. Like, oh, is it my Botox?
Right.
Is it my new haircut?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather be told to calm down or ask if you're on your period? Hey, calm down.
In the same like heightened emotion.
Yeah, you're yelling at someone. Someone just called you dumpy,
Okay.
and you're like, "Aren't you gonna say something?" And then your husband goes, "Calm down." Or is it that time of the month?
Calm down is definitely better than are you
Ab-
on your period? 100%.
Yeah, I think.
I don't like calm down either, though.
Right. That's the lesser of two evils.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even the period thing. I would never bring up, ever.
Yeah, that's a crazy
It's like a low
person.
blow in
Yeah.
a way that, like, for a man to bring it
Well,
up.
It's like it's invalidating someone's feelings to blame it on to say that like, oh, whatever you're thinking or feeling is not valid. You're just saying this because you're on your period.
How about you're acting a little emotional or you're acting a little crazy?
You're acting a little emotional is better.
Better.
Crazy is a loaded word.
See, I would think emotional's loaded.
No, it's like, okay, like fine. I have emotions. I'm emotional.
Okay.
I am emotional. Emotional is like something we all can be. Crazy is like you are a crazy person.
Right. There's no fixing crazy in a certain way.
Right. That's like it's sort of like a more defining who you are. Okay. Would you rather be called someone's dumpy husband?
Dumpy husband.
Or loser husband?
Dumpy.
Dumpy.
Dumpy. Loser has so much more.
Loser's mean.
Loser's mean. Loser could
Dumpy's
mean
kind of
like,
mean too, but
yeah, but dumpy, like there's a lot of dumpy men who are not losers.
right. That's true.
You know, like there's no
loser.
loser.
Is like a nod at your like job, I think, somehow.
Yeah, it's a nod at your job, your position in life. Yes. You and your loser husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot that's oozing with like
right.
badness.
Very pointed. I'm trying to think what else would be insulting for a man.
Like the short stuff doesn't matter. Like if you are something that doesn't matter. The most insulting things are when it's something you could be.
Okay.
You know, like it's like if you call someone short who is short, they go, yeah, I
right. That's
or
just
if you
a
call
fact.
someone
well,
tall,
that's my middle-aged thing. It's like you are middle-aged.
If you call someone short who's tall, it doesn't matter. It has no effect. They go, I'm tall.
Right.
If you
it's
call
like saying I'm purple.
Right.
I know I'm not purple.
I'm not purple. If you call someone short who's 5, maybe my height, 5'8", that would probably take the most effect in the same way middle-aged takes effect for 37-year-old because now you look older than you do. You present old.
Okay.
Short on a 5'8" guy, you present short.
Would you rather be called ugly or boring?
None of those would even affect me.
None of them.
For some reason,
you don't
boring.
believe them.
What's that?
Because you know they're not true.
Yeah, boring. Also, like, yeah, I'd like to be a little bit more boring. Like, I
wish.
I wish. Right. Ugly.
Annoying or ugly.
I would take ugly over annoying.
Okay.
Annoying. Now you kind of question the person you are.
Right. Anything
you question
that's
how you
like
act.
Right. Yeah, I think I would be more annoyed with being called annoying.
Right. How about loud?
Loud.
Tell your loud wife to shut the fuck up.
I don't really think I'm loud.
Some of these are so funny to me. Just the idea that someone would say,
Yeah.
it is so... We, at the Cellar, so a bunch of comics, there's a table in the back, and there's this one comic, he's like the funniest guy. And there's anytime someone's talking loudly, there's the bar and then the table in the back of the Olive Tree Cafe.
Okay.
And the table's where all the comics sit. And there's every now and again, the bar has like someone that's just hammered. Like they're talking pretty loudly. And when it's a woman, and I'm saying this, and this sounds bad, but like this comic who I know, his move is he will just sit at the table, and if she's talking at the bar and like kind of drunk, he'll just start going, shh.
Oh my God. He should be banned.
Well, he's not doing it to her though. Like her back is like
she can't hear him.
She can hear him. But it's so funny to me.
That's so annoying.
It's so annoying because it's not like he's going up to her and going hand over the finger over the mouth, shush.
But this is worse.
But he's doing it to like everything.
Right,
and
but
then
she knows
just,
it's her.
And every time, without a doubt, whoever the woman is turns around and is like, what? It starts getting angry.
I would get angry.
Yes. It is. I think it is
There's nothing worse than someone's like, you're screaming and you're not screaming.
Yeah. I mean, I get that a lot because I'm a loud guy.
Yeah. I guess like I've gotten that before where it's like, shh. Mike's like, you're screaming. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Right. This is normal.
Now I'm going to be screaming.
I get annoyed when someone, like I did these question box on Instagram and I like answer them, like try to make it a joke. I try to make it's like my little writing project. And someone will write, are you okay? And I'm like, that's
are you
annoying.
okay is tough.
Are you okay is a great kind of like to get someone.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like calm down. You can't really argue with calm down.
It's an undercover calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the worst thing you could call a guy?
I think telling someone your breath fucking stinks is like...
That's the meanest thing you could say to someone?
But no, it like rocks them. Like
you
it's like,
and your smelly breathed husband.
Right. Like it's like a throat punch. Like they didn't even see it
Right,
coming.
because you don't know.
Right, and you don't know. And then you kind of talk with a closed mouth. So if if I was like in an argument with someone and your wife's breath fucking stinks.
Ouch.
Ouch. Like that is like what? It came out of nowhere. Like I think that'd be a fun way to get someone.
Okay. I like it. Correct, clever and creative.
Right. I would actually suggest if someone is going home for the holidays, this is kind of, to me, it's like, in like Mario Kart, like that, what are they? The shells. You got like a super shell in Mario Kart that you could that you save. If someone at your Thanksgiving table is annoying you, an aunt, a cousin, talking about their wedding, engagement. Okay. All you got to do to shut them up is like, when they say, hey, how's it, are you guys going to get married? Do you have a boyfriend? I think you need some gum. Yes. Just say your breath kind of smells. That will end them.
Will it end them or will it start a war?
No, just say it honestly. Say it don't say it like a meme.
To be honest, could you back up?
Like ask me about if I have a girlfriend.
Jared, are you got any girlfriends? You seeing anyone?
I'm not, right now I'm not seeing anyone. I'm concentrating on my
Still?
career.
What?
Yeah, no, I know, and
when are you gonna settle down?
I'm really trying.
Where are my grandchildren?
Hopefully one day they'll be here. Hopefully, I don't want to your breath's a little stinky right now. Right. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I would have to retreat.
The kids are over.
Yeah, you could just say it to everyone at the table.
Hey.
The table's breath collectively
Everyone's hair's breath stinks.
It is Thanksgiving Eve. We haven't even mentioned the elephant in the room.
Oh, what a great way to do. If you see someone at the Thanksgiving Eve bar.
Yes.
And they're being annoying. Your breath stinks.
I don't know what's been going on since high school. But your breath.
I don't know what doo-doo sandwich you've been eating since high school.
Doo-doo. Okay.
Nothing is funnier than the word doo-doo. What have you been doing since high school? Getting your doo-doo MBA? Ha! So we're doing lightning round questions that are Thanksgiving specific.
Yes.
Listen, if you're out there this weekend, I am in Dania Beach. If you're in Florida, you want to annoy me?
Okay.
Hey, come down here another holiday. This is when I'm there. This is it.
Right.
Dania Beach. This is Southern Florida. This is South.
You mean you're not planning your schedule around various people who DM you about wanting certain dates in a certain city?
Weirdly not.
No?
I'm not going to your living room. I'm not going to come down when it's good for you. If it's not good for you, that's okay too. Don't come.
Don't come.
I don't need the tries and tribs of how you're going to make it or not. Come.
Just be there.
This weekend, I'm there. Tarrytown, we're taping the special.
What's the parking situation?
I'm not your concierge to my shows.
He is the talent. Please treat him as such.
Well, that's the thing. I'm starting to regret. I don't want to regret. I don't want to regret. I say assemble the group chat, okay? I provide a service. I bring the laughs. I bring my bag of laughs, and I sprinkle them all over your face. And you and your friends either laugh or you don't.
Right.
And if you don't, I failed. But I come to do a show to make you who brought your friends look good.
That's the exchange.
That's the exchange of goods for services.
Yes.
I don't need, and then I do pictures of the show. Some comics charge for their pictures.
Ooh.
Let me take my right hand and pat myself on the back. Yes. I don't charge for pictures. I like doing them.
Is that a tax write-off?
I did charge. Let me go back. I did for the theater shows, but because it was hard to put it all together. Mm-hmm. Club shows, some people are charge $20 a pic. I've been told by the clubs. Wow. I didn't even know you could. I was like, no, I want to say hi. It's also, to me, you post it. Maybe a friend of yours sees it. To me, I understand the exchange of goods for service.
$20 a picture. And to think I could get a picture with you whenever I want.
Anytime you want, for free.
Wow.
That's right. Well, so can the audience.
Yes.
When you come up to me after the show, how about we have a normal exchange? Hey, good to meet you. What's your name? I'm Jared. Nice to meet you. I'm Lisa. I don't need I assembled the group chat.
Oh, they probably think they're being an inside joke.
Okay. Say that and then we're done.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You don't like I assembled the group chat? I thought that's fun.
I say it as like a marketing thing.
Right. Well, that's
I
why.
don't want
That's
it
why
used
they're
against me.
They're like, I think they're like, oh, it's working. I brought you the.
Well, I hope they had fun. Like, how about I assembled the group chat and they loved it? Like, we did it together.
Well,
I don't know.
This is a classic case of like relationship miscommunication. You have what you want to be said. And then you have your expectations for the perfect thing, and the person's expectations for your perfect. They probably are like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna let him know I'm an insider. I assembled the group chat. That's what I'm not a regular fan. I'm like a fan who remembers.
It's funny you say that.
Your phrases.
People have said that, and I do love when they say it. Something hit me this past weekend. Well, then they had one of their friends goes, and I think I'm funnier than you. I just did an hour and a half on stage.
That's crazy.
And I was like, okay, let's take a picture.
Okay,
I've come out here to take a picture, to be nice, to like have a nice interaction. And I'm like, I didn't beg anyone to come here.
I mean, that's the more important part of the story. If someone said that's an extremely annoying
This was after I assembled the group chat. I think I'm funnier than you. I'm like, okay, good for you.
That's you left that out. That's a very important part.
I go, and then at that point I turn off.
Right.
We're done. I turn into robot
Stonewalled.
Jared. Yeah, Stony.
Stonewalled.
Stony freed.
Yes.
Just.
All right, let's get into our lightning round.
Some woman with her doo-doo breath.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving back. All right.
All right, let's do this lightning round.
All right, first question. How do I respond to my mother-in-law's guilt trips over this year being my husband's first Thanksgiving away? Where is he? I wonder.
What?
Oh, okay. I read this wrong. Sorry. Because she said my husband's first Thanksgiving away. I'm like, oh, where did he go? And then Candace clarified, I'm an idiot.
With her family.
Right, that they're going to her family.
He's not in jail.
I was like, maybe he's in the army. He's like out, like, I don't know, she's upset.
Oh, I just wish Frankie would come home. Off to war.
Oh, like the guilt about him being away.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What do you? I mean, how
do you get this ever? Do you get your
mom? We always go to his.
Does your mom ever guilt Mike?
No, because she doesn't know how to put on a holiday.
So this all works out.
This one
for
is
her.
not my issue. This actually, this works out great because the Marinellis love Thanksgiving and Christmas, and my family doesn't do Christmas, and we don't really do a real Thanksgiving, so they get everything they want. We just do the Jewish holidays.
It's great. It worked out.
Yeah.
It fit. I would say to this person, it's funny. How do I respond to my mother-in-law's guilt trips over this year being my husband's first Thanksgiving?
Don't respond.
How about you just don't care?
Right.
Like, I mean, like that's I kind of don't relate to the idea of like this
what am I gonna say about
I would
not your problem.
Here's the thing. Here's what you do.
Let's reenact. I'm the annoying mother-in-law.
Okay.
Oh, I just can't.
Hey, Mrs. Frankenstein, how are you?
I just can't believe that Jared is gonna be gone this Thanksgiving. It's just not going to be the same, It's tough.
I don't know how you guys are going to handle it. No Jared around cracking his jokes. I know. I had to steal them from you. And it's going to be horrible. I know. You're not going to have Jared eating all the food and yelling and telling everyone their breath smells like doo-doo. It's going to be a horrible holiday. I'm sorry. What are we going to do? Now I got to deal with him shitting in my toilets.
Yeah, I think
you
it.
Yes, I think you laugh at it.
Right.
To you, it's a joke.
You make it seem like you're like a burden for your.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it must be a joke for you to act like that with your adult child. Like I think that to this person, laugh and yes and.
Right.
Jared's not. You taking Jared away from him? Yup. And he's never coming back.
If only sons would just stay with their mothers and live with them forever.
Right. I think you gotta roll with it. Roll with it. Like this is like you gotta go with it.
It's almost like he's not your husband, bitch.
Say
what?
that.
Did I say that? What? That would be a great way to smooth things over.
Yeah. Do that line again. You ready? I just don't know you had to take Jared away for us for Thanksgiving.
It's almost like he's married to me and not you, bitch.
What did you call me?
What? Sorry, did I say that out loud?
What did you say to me? You can forget coming here for Passover.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I think you gotta roll with it.
That's how we don't do it. That's how you would not.
Well, I think that's like there is a version of that actually works.
You think?
I think you have fun with it. Like it is ridiculous to look at your adult daughter-in-law and be like, because it's just, there's no answer here.
Right. I would,
You know,
if I'm being honest on how I would reply, I think I would be like, yeah, I haven't seen my parents in so long. We're so excited for next year, though. We're going to do a switch off.
Right. Or I would, well, then you're making promises.
Well, I assume like you wouldn't you do a switch off?
To me, that's, I would think so. But I wouldn't want to get, like, to me, like, what if theirs is better?
That's true. Yeah, we don't want to make, don't want to write a
don't make
check
any
we can't cash.
Right. I would just be like, yeah, no, we're going to miss you.
Next time, get better food.
Hopefully you don't die within the next year. I think rolling with it and like, you have to, let's start at the premise. The premise is this mother-in-law is
irrationally
mad that your husband can't be in two places at once. Like, it's a ridiculous premise.
Well, she's really more, she's not mad that her husband can be in two places at once. She's mad that she is not, like, at this moment, the dominant family getting the attention and validation of having her kids home for the holidays. And I think it's more about the feeling like everyone wants to come home to you.
Right. You want to be special.
Yes, you want to feel like people want to come home to you.
Right. Maybe that's something you feed into. We wanted to come here because you make the best Thanksgiving.
Right.
It's all we wanted. My mom is a cunt.
Now you know exactly how I navigated my parents' divorce.
Right, you lie.
I do have a lot of experience, like, dealing with people who make it about them. Like my parents, I think, like, fighting with each other and wanting to be like the dominant seeming parent. It's like a good practice, I think, for this kind of thing.
I guess the good part is, like, after a wedding, the two parents don't really do a lot of commingling. They only see each other in, like, very heightened times, like when the baby, you know, like first birthday, or, you know, like those types of things. Like the two grandparents come across each other,
right? But then it's like this is your other side family,
right? So you can lie, you can play them off each other a little bit,
right? You could tell them whatever you wanted; they'll have no idea.
My mom just, you know, lost her cat, and she's a mess. So that's, you know, we're doing Thanksgiving there, and you know, you don't understand how appreciative my mom is that you're letting us
that
you're allowing us to do Thanksgiving there. It's been a tough year. She just
keeps saying how she's so, you know, happy. It's like is the only thing that she's looking forward to this whole year.
She's truly depressed. She has nothing. She looks out the window every
day. And I hate her, but I'm going to go because it just feels like the right thing to do.
I mean, you have such a full life. You have friends and, you know, you go out all the time and you guys are so lively and you're energetic. My parents kind of just sit in the bed all day and just look out the window and
I literally used to do this with my parents.
Yeah.
Like, mom, because my parents didn't speak to each other when I was growing up.
So that's great.
So it was great. You could say whatever you wanted. And I would be like, Mom is such a fucking bitch. Can I please have $20? She will not give it to me.
Right. And then your dad's like, look at, I'm the hero.
I'm like, literally. Yeah. Of course, you know.
Turn your mother-in-law into a hero.
That is so her. You know, I'm not going to let you suffer.
Right.
I'm not just because she is irrational and crazy, and we all hate her.
Right.
I'm not going to let you suffer. My mom would say the same thing.
This is perfect. We've given great advice to this person. All right, let's do another.
Is that why I have trouble navigating a healthy?
I think you're doing a great job. Lie is our pull a Jett and lie to your significant other. All right, let's do another. So the next one is a voicemail. We love a voicemail.
27 seconds, but who's counting?
I mean...
Well, where do they leave a voicemail if they want to leave a voicemail?
212-589-8903. Save that number and save it as J&J.
Yes.
And just call us anytime you want and leave a message. 212-589-8903. Okay, let's hit the voicemail.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Jordana. I'm the mom who wonders, how do I support my 27-year-old living in her best life in New York City? Because I love hearing her dating stories, but I don't want to pressure her because she's living her best life. I just want her to be happy. So what does a good mom do? Jared, how do I not be your mom?
Wow, shots fired. It started off fun, and then she got wow, your mom's you better watch out for Kim Fried. She might come for you.
Wow. I don't know. It's funny that like you can't control how people hear these things.
Right.
Like the idea that my mom is just on me all the time to find,
right.
To
I guess
tell
you
her.
do tell stories about her, like, maybe making you feel pressured in one way or another.
I guess so.
Right.
It's not like I'm avoiding her,
No, yeah, it doesn't sound that extreme, but
to this person it does apparently.
Yeah.
What do you think? How can
It's
a mom be a good?
I like this question.
I guess if I'm to like paraphrase, how does a mom be a good wing woman to her 20s daughter in her 20s who's living their single life?
Mm-hmm.
How would you want to be treated by your mom who's cool and fun and likes the stories, but is aware that she's still a mom and could be too much?
Right. I think the best thing to do is to encourage like as much positivity about the life she's living now. Like what I would say to my daughter, 27, living in the city, is like, wow, like you are truly living the life. Like it is so cool. You get to have so much fun. You have like so much freedom. Like you must be like loving life.
So many
must be
different
really
types of
enjoying
balls.
it. So many, any kind of balls you want.
You can put their balls anywhere.
You can have sex with as many people. No, I'm just thinking. I do think the idea of like making someone feel really good about their life is like such a better route than like are you are you lonely? Are you gonna find anyone? I think just like making someone feel like pepped up about their life, like what a time to be like young and single in the city. Like you must be having so much fun. Like
you want to receive, you don't want to throw. Mm-hmm. So when you throw, asking questions, they get very deep right away. Like just like you said, like, are you afraid that you'll never find someone? Like. That
seems like you are.
Right.
Like
that's a judgment.
You don't
want
to project your own thing onto someone to make them feel like scared and anxious if that's how you're feeling.
Right. I think it's like, it's all in how, I think, again, a lot of this is like improv rules. Mm-hmm. Yes, and.
Right.
If your daughter comes to you, or son, whatever, hey, I met someone. I think, yes, what do they like?
Right.
And yes, and what did you do? Yes, and where did you go? Oh my God, that's so cool. And I think
and
like,
not encouraging them to take whatever's given to them.
Right.
I think there's a sense of that.
And not like acting like this is the last person that will ever come along.
Right.
I think like to make it, don't act like this is that the people in her life are scarce resources. She's living her best life means she has a lot of options and ability to go out every night and meet new people. And so whatever this person is, they're fine. They're not bad. They're good. I wouldn't get too high or too low on it. I think that's like a big thing. Don't put pressure on it.
Right. No, I agree with that. That's a great point. Like if she tells you about someone she's seeing, you could be like encouraging, but also like encourage her to like think about like to be discerning and picky herself.
Right.
And to say like, how did that make you? So like, where did he take you? Did you like that place? Like. What do you think? Do you think that like I think it's like just asking questions and being curious and having like fun without any of the pressure of it.
Right. I was in an Uber or not an Uber. An Uber to the airport yesterday. I was in St. Louis and then I got to the Uber and the guy, and it's like 7 a.m. I just did a whole weekend of shows and I'm like, and he's like, so what made you get into comedy? And I'm like, this is like the last question I need right now. Like, I don't need to go down like my...
I don't want to think about that.
Right. I'm leaving St. Louis on a rainy Monday after my 5 shows. Like, I don't... Can I reflect,
right.
when I'm dead?
But what would be good if you got in the car? Wow, you're a comedian? That's so cool.
So much
fun. You must get to like go to so many different cities.
What's your favorite city?
Yeah.
What's your favorite date been with this guy?
Yeah. What do you feel like was the best show you ever had?
Right. Let's stay positive.
Yeah.
What's your best date? What's your favorite date? Does he have a lot of friends? Where'd he go to school?
Right.
These are all things. Not like.
Yeah.
Do you think he's ever gonna call you again?
Right. Are you going right? Are you on the apps? Why aren't you on the apps?
Right.
That's the only way.
Yeah. Just I think receiving the story and being positive about the story. That's like all we would want from a mom.
People just want to feel like people are rooting for them and not like worried for them,
right?
And just like think and don't pity them.
I was kind of talking about this on stage last night, just the idea that like all questions of single people get like sad. They get sad. Like,
well, then we wouldn't have a question if you weren't sad, I guess, right?
Right.
What would be the
You'd be like,
question?
everything would be okay.
How long can I keep doing this? Because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just like, do you like being alone? Like, do you like being single? It's like, right. I guess. Do you like, being married? I don't know.
Well, they're asking it because they like want to feel validated in their own like place.
Right. Right. So the mom, be fun, be positive. Let's not, and I guess if, we started this podcast and we asked people to send us their questions.
Right.
We don't just attack people with what we think they should be doing right away.
Yeah.
Like,
follow her lead.
Yes. That's the big thing. That's why I like doing questions on Instagram. They've asked them. I didn't say like, hey, you women need to stop looking so frumpy.
And dumpy and middle-aged.
I wait for someone to go, do you think I look frumpy? And I'm like, okay, you're the frumps of Frumpsville.
Exactly. All right, let's do another one.
How do you avoid losing momentum over the holidays? This is the age-old question.
Beware.
Beware of birthdays, holidays, weddings, and Fridays, and global pandemics, and there's a million other things we've added to this list over the years.
A woman has gone on 3 dates with you. It's the week before Christmas. What would you advise her so that you don't completely forget about her and move on to the next immediately?
I would advise anyone who has been on a few dates with me
or anyone
is talk about how full your life is.
And that will keep the momentum going?
No, it's just, that's not, I don't think like,
I don't think you can like manipulate the situation to me. I think it's either going to like lose steam, or if it's good, it's going to, you wouldn't like lose touch with someone that you really like just because the holidays were coming up.
No,
would you?
The holidays would give me time to think on whether I'm like,
if you were on the fence.
If I'm just like, it lets it breathe. It lets it take a second.
Sure,
like,
but if you were really into someone, I don't think it would matter. You'd be like, well,
I would also say that a lot of people over the holidays, it's easier to text than it is to get together in person.
Right.
So it can be kind of like it can be a trick. It can be, this.
Well, isn't it a good test of how much they're keeping up with you?
But that's my point, is like, keep it in I terms. I thought of you because I was out with my friends having a great time. Just wanted to say hello. Keep it at that. I'm out with my friends. Just I would keep it to stories about you. That's why I'm like, show your full life.
Okay. Not like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? How's it going?
Right.
Where's that? I think more I statements and hope everything's well, and let them come to you.
And again, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work regardless. It's not
right. It wasn't the holiday. It was the match.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's just an excuse for sure.
Right. And listen, the other thing is, like, to go back to something we said in the beginning, everyone's redeemable. They have your number. They know how to make a plan.
Yeah.
You don't need to, I think, like, what you're saying is very true. Like, you can't create this momentum. You can't hey, so we're back on January 2nd, January 3rd. Can we get something in the book?
Lock something in.
Right. Just I think like knowing they have your number and the ability.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they like you, they're not going to be like, I liked her, but then the holidays happened and I just didn't care anymore after.
The fear is like, well, maybe they thought I wasn't interested because I didn't keep up with them. I don't think
if you have I agree with you though, and like text if you have something to say.
Right.
Don't text to be like, hey, what's up?
Totally.
Like, and I thought of you.
Here's the other thing. As someone who has lost contact with people over the holiday season, as someone who's...
You didn't marry everyone you were seeing before the holiday season?
I'd be 7 times married.
Yes.
It was never like a personal, like, let me get through this, like, get away from them. Right. It was
Thank
just
God the holidays are here to separate us.
Right. It was more just like, okay, I guess I didn't care. Everything's in I terms. We're all the star of our own movie. So, like, I do have these realizations over the holidays, I guess I didn't need this thing, And I hope that doesn't come off as mean. I'm just saying, like, you get to the holidays and you go, oh, was that a connection or was that like a?
Is it like, do I miss this person? Are you saying
right?
that?
There's a little bit of that where it's
miss seems like such a strong word, but it doesn't have to be.
No, it's just like, oh, I kind of had this whole like 2-week period where I was like totally like
didn't think of you once.
Not that I didn't think of that, but you just go, if I'm not sweating it now, then what am I doing?
Right. But that could also be like if you're dating a guy who's like not necessarily looking for something serious. He might not have thought of anyone over the holidays.
That's my point. It's not a 1-for-1 thing.
Mm-hmm. He just doesn't think of anyone.
Right. He was just thinking of turkey legs.
Yeah.
Like it's like
right.
And I know it comes off as more than that, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do another.
All right. Interfaith couples questions. My
Here
forte.
we go.
First night of Hanukkah is on Christmas. How do we figure out which to celebrate?
Jordana, first night of Hanukkah on Christmas?
Celebrating both.
Both.
Yeah, why do they have to be mutually exclusive?
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, you just light the menorah, eat the Christmas. Why do we have to like one or the other?
Yeah.
My in-laws are great. They always have little like Hanukkah, like little like menorahs that they put on their tree. It's like very cute.
I would understand the fear from the other non-Jewish side is, am I doing enough? Have I insulted them because we do our Christmas thing, so we know the amount and what we should do, and we don't know what to do. First night of Hanukkah, like, is that like, does someone dress up as a lawyer?
No, the fanfare is not the same as the Christmas fanfare.
Right,
and I think,
agree.
you can do them both the same night. Christmas is going to be a bigger thing because there's just more to do. Because also, here's the other thing is like, Hanukkah is actually like a pretty low-level Jewish holiday.
Right.
Like the Passover, Rosh Hashanah, those are like the big Jewish holidays. Hanukkah is sort of like something that got artificially amplified because it's around the same time as Christmas. So it's really like not as big of a deal. So I don't think it's a big deal to like do it the same night and have it be like lower key.
Yeah. I think to me, if someone was like, I'm dating a family that celebrates Christmas and they didn't do the first night of Hanukkah, I would think of the Jewish person as a loser. I'd be like, what do you need the first night of Hanukkah for? Like, I'd be like, really? You take it that serious? Like, I'd be surprised. To hear that someone was insulted.
Well, here's the thing. Don't wait for someone to if it meant a lot to me to do the first night of Hanukkah, I would say, all right, like, also I brought my menorah because it's the first night of Hanukkah. Like, do you mind we can like light that?
Right. Or, hey, we want you over for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Also, it's the first night of Hanukkah. Is there something we can do for that?
Yeah.
That I would be like, no.
I don't think you'd have to. I think you'd have to be a monster to be like,
no
Hanukkah in this house.
Yeah, right. Or you'd have to be weird to be like, we're only doing Hanukkah. You're like,
that would be crazier because it's like Christmas is like the Mecca of like the Christian holidays.
Totally. The Mecca.
I guess that doesn't make any sense.
We've mixed a lot
of
different cultures.
Metaphors. Yeah.
No, but I would say I agree with you. Like this, to me, if someone was like, when someone asks me what I'm doing for Hanukkah, I'm like, are you fucking with me?
Right. Well, you also like, I feel like if you're dating someone, you probably don't have kids yet. Like, right. That's like it's like a holiday so that like Jewish kids don't feel bad about not being able to celebrate Christmas.
Right.
You shouldn't care as like a 34-year-old woman. Right. You shouldn't care.
Adult Hanukkah people, loser.
Yeah. Weird.
No, but I do understand like during these like weird times with Jews, like they're like we are in like a specific era.
No, totally.
There's like a fear of like insulting or like, and I would say like don't call them a loser like I just did, but like hey, do you do anything for Hanukkah that we can do?
I mean, I think I celebrate Hanukkah more now that I'm married to someone who's not Jewish than I did before. Now I'm like, all right, again, because it's around that time of year, I'm like, I'm going to be represented too. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do like the two things that like make me feel like I'm not losing my own personal culture.
Right. Maybe make some latkes for the family.
I do. I make latkes every year.
Nothing better than a latke.
Maybe I'll bring some in. Probably not.
Let's do another. So we have a B. There's two interfaith questions. I'm Christian. My boyfriend is Muslim. His parents don't want Christmas decor up at his house. What do I do?
I think I've talked about this on this show, how this was like sort of a little bit of an issue for me in the beginning. like this feeling of like Jews don't put up Christmas tree as like a thing.
You had a thing with your dad, I remember.
Yes, I had a thing with my dad about that. And here's what I've discovered as I've gotten older is that I don't care what they think.
Right.
I mean, I don't. It's kind of like that's sort of, I think, becoming, that's like your new, I've talked about this on the show before. It's like your new family. It's like, this is your family unit.
This is what my new family does.
And like there's two people in this new family and it doesn't involve you. And at the end of the day, like you can have your thoughts, you can have your opinions, you're entitled to that. You can be disappointed. But this is if I want to do it, I'm just going to do what I want to do.
I guess the difference here is that it's her and it's his family.
Right.
So it's his family. So
I think he needs to adopt more of my mentality.
Well, that's, to me, I agree. But that at that point, it becomes less about the decor and it's more about saying to your family, like, do we have a problem here?
Right.
You know, I think, and if he can't do that, you and him have a discussion about something else as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think for her, hey, if I'm the boyfriend with the parents who don't want Christmas decorations, if my girlfriend...
What's his stance? Yeah.
Right. If my girlfriend came up to me and says, hey, it really bothers me knowing that your parents don't want Christmas decorations in our home. Again, that's the reveal. That's the I statement.
Here's the thing. Not even knowing that your parents don't want Christmas. Because, like, fine. I know that they don't like that. It's more like, it really bothers me that, like, it doesn't seem like we can... I can decorate our home the way that we want us to because your parents don't approve. That's really like the issue. It's not that anyone can think anything. You can't control what someone thinks.
Well, then it's like, how do you feel about that? And that's when to me, like, I think just as a guy, that's how I would want to be approached.
Right.
How do give me a chance to give you my, reaction to that.
Right.
Well, and then I guess if I was my most honest self, which most people are not, they're like somewhat honest.
Although you would imagine in a marriage, they're more honest.
Right.
You've gotten to that level of comfort.
You're at 80% at a minimum.
Sure.
You would hope. I would give an answer along the lines of if I'm like to think of like, I would be like, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable because I love my family. I understand kind of there are things that I don't touch. What?
That's not a good answer.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm just giving you the answer. Yeah. This is what I would give.
Well, I would say here. Okay. Give me your answer, and then I'll give you an answer that would actually move me.
Okay. I love my family. It's really uncomfortable. I don't know how to talk to them about this.
Okay.
That would be like an honest answer.
Sure. That you still have things to do now in that.
I'm not done. I'm not saying this is over, but that's me hitting the ball back.
Right. Okay. Here's what an answer that would make me feel better. I know we have this mixed faith relationship. Mm-hmm. It is really important to me to feel like I'm not losing my own culture. And there's something about having a Christmas tree or decorating for Christmas that feels like I'm giving up my own, like where I'm coming from, or like losing my family traditions. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where my parents, I would imagine that's where my parents are coming from. This fear that by entering an interfaith relationship that I'm losing everything they brought me up with. Mm. Right. I'm not saying it's rational, but like that's sort of where that comes from.
And how would you respond to that?
I would respond to that I would say like, that makes a lot of sense to me. How can we make sure that your traditions and your culture and like I want to make sure that we both feel that our cultures are being valued, that we're celebrating the things that we grew up with.
Here's where it gets difficult. I'm not Muslim, so I don't know the feelings there.
Let's replace it with Jew, which you understand.
I'm just replacing, of course, Muslims and Jews have gotten along for so long. It's totally so. But I'm saying if I was to put myself emotionally in that seat, my culture is not doing anything on Christmas.
Okay.
That's as much my culture as decorating. Like the way I would want to be represented.
Like by doing something in itself, it's
a total insult to me. Like I think the most beautiful part about Christmas to me is that I sit back and do nothing while other people have to rush around doing something. That actually makes me feel more Judaic.
Should have picked a different wife then.
Right.
If that's a strong belief of
Well,
yours.
I this is me what I would be imparting to her. Like, you
Yes.
have to understand, like, I am now stressed. But I guess that wouldn't
you would know
relate to
this
my
by
parents.
now.
I would know that.
You would know that that's what we do by now. Like, that
Right.
this is what you're like. If you should have stayed within your religion, if that was like something that you really didn't want to do.
Right.
I think it's like I think for this person, to bring it
You're
back
gonna
to this
put up
person.
that wreath if you ever want to touch this pussy again. That's what I'd say.
There you go. No, I think I would say can understand like what the fear is there. We're gonna make sure that we're like celebrating your cultural things too. But like, this is our family. I'm
Right.
half of it.
Right.
And like, this is something that's important to me for my culture.
Yeah, you got to stand up for
It
yourself.
doesn't take away from whatever you're doing.
Right. And I guess we
It
don't
can
know
be
what,
additive. We don't need to subtract to make everyone feel better.
right. And we don't know what his reaction to that is going to be. But the reaction now becomes the new discussion.
Right.
Like, I think the question here is, we've simplified it to, I'm half the house. And I understand this is like
right.
a
It's not like
departure.
everyone doesn't get one vote that's even.
Right.
Like, there's two people.
Yeah.
My vote is 50%.
Right. And
Yes. And the other
what
vote
is
is your vote, 50%.
what is, now it's time to grow up with your family and how you going to talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Like, I would also, like, I would say from my point of view, be their teammate to understand that this is hard for you to go to your family with.
Right.
Like,
That's
I
what
think,
I'm saying. Like, I
yeah.
think honoring like the fears of his parents.
Right.
Honoring their own fears, which are my fear. I understand that too. I was like, it felt uncomfortable, I think, to have a Christmas tree at first, because you're like, am I betraying something? And I
Right.
think that's a valid, rational fear. Doesn't mean that it's like that you need to. That means you can't do it.
But I guess my point is, like, responding to the fear with, oh, that's stupid,
Right.
is
Not
just
good.
not going to help. Like, it's got to be we are figuring out how to get my parents to shut the fuck up.
Yes.
So let's do another one. I know I want to break up with my boyfriend. Is it bad to wait until after our Thanksgiving trip together?
Got a trip. How much was the
Thanksgiving.
How much is the trip?
Thanksgiving trip too could involve, we're going to family.
Yeah.
Like, that's not normally like
I think it's they're going away together.
so no family. They're like
Yeah.
the weekend of Thanksgiving. They have some
They
time off.
take a trip. Yeah.
What do you think? Go on the trip or don't go on the trip?
I don't think I could go on the trip.
You can't.
I don't think I could do it. It's
Right.
not right for me. It's not right for them. I assume the only reason to go would be like a money thing. Like, we don't want to like lose money.
There's credits for everything.
Yeah.
There's you can.
I wouldn't want to be on a trip with someone who was planning to break up with me as soon as the trip was over. If I'm the other side of it.
I always and I always think totally agree with everything you said. And I always think of, like, I'm on my deathbed, and I'm like, I spent a weekend with someone I didn't want to spend it with.
Yeah.
You know, like, not to get too dark
Or like
too
someone
grim.
spent. Here's the thing. Also, like, so that's the more. I think it's more hurtful for the other person. Someone spent a week pretending like everything was fine.
Right.
We were on a whole trip that I thought everything was going great. We're headed towards marriage. We're moving in together, and then I find out that whole trip they were already out of the
It
relationship.
makes you feel delusional.
Yes.
And it's also like, that's like the problem with being cheated on. You're like, oh my God, I
was living a lie.
Right.
Yeah.
I am vulnerable. I thought I was smart enough to catch these things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was like intuitive, and I thought I could feel things out and I would have the answer to everything. And maybe you do. Maybe you have an uncomfortable trip with someone and you're like, what's going? And you start to doubt yourself and you start to reach too much, and now you act like a different person than you want to act like.
Yeah.
This whole trip, if it goes well, then you have made the
Made it
person
even harder to break up with them. Yeah.
right, or you've made them go, but things were so great. Or if it doesn't go well, you have this person who spends a weekend doubting everything they say and do because they're like not getting the reaction that they're
Right.
used to getting.
And they think everything they said and did was the reason you broke up with them.
Right. I think a great opener, and also when you end it, they're going to go, when did you know? And you can't
yeah.
be like, well, when we landed
Yeah.
at LaGuardia is when I realized.
Right.
You can't
That's
do
not
that.
enough time. Yeah.
Right. I think getting ahead of the trip, and Also, it's perfectly reasonable to say to someone, and I'm saying this to myself throughout my life, hey, this trip is coming up, and I've been thinking through it, and I don't see us being a long-term match, and I think going on the trip would be more harm than good.
Yeah.
And before we get to it, and listen, let me give you advice I have been given. No amount of money is too much to get out of a trip with someone you're not looking to date anymore.
How much do you want?
How much? You pay for the
Yes.
ticket here. Oh, you're getting credits. I would overpay.
Agreed. Yeah, I think don't wait. Don't make it weird. Let's do one more.
Let's do it.
What's a good Christmas gift when you're only a few months into a relationship?
Experience gifts.
Yes.
Been saying it on here for years.
Love it.
Experience, experience, experience. A dinner, a show, a game, skiing together, going and doing something
Broadway,
together.
whatever it is.
Whatever it is. An experience that you guys can have a memory from, I think is like...
There's no trace of it if you break up.
Right. There's no harm, no foul. There's nothing to throw away or give back.
Yes. What about price limit? How much would you spend on a gift? An experience gift?
For me,
3 months.
there's no limit.
Sky's the limit.
I'm with them a few months. I don't know. It would be something I would enjoy paying for myself.
Okay. $500?
If I felt good about getting a $500 experience for myself,
If someone got that for you, you'd be fine?
I'd be fine. I would want to get that for them. I would want to include them on this thing that I already wanted to do myself.
Okay.
Like, I think it's okay to be a little selfish in the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be like, I like to go to Broadway shows
Right.
and I want
It
to
takes
make you
the
a part
edge
of
off,
that.
the intensity out of it, too.
Right. And it makes it so it's like, this is something I'm sharing with you. I think that's like a special thing. You're getting to know them more. You guys to know me more. This is a way of inviting you into my world a little bit more.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
I like it.
And, when you say, like, the other thing that the response is, well, how far away? Like, they love baseball and it's winter and we've only been seeing each other. Who cares?
You think?
I don't care.
I care, I think.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it could be the same length out as the amount of time you're dating.
So dating 3 months, the event has to
Can
be
be
within
3 months, yes.
All right.
Don't make it
I'm
a year
okay with
from
that.
now. I think that's a little...
Well, a year, but like, I don't know. To me, again, anything could be purchased away.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No, I think it's just more like... And it's also just more like the momentum of the relationship. Like, if you're going to get someone a gift, like, let's do it soon. Why am I getting you a gift for a year from now?
Hey, let's go for a couples massage. Like, even that is
that's
like...
hot.
Yeah, something a little sexy.
I like it. All right, we did it.
We did it. We solved dating again. We solved Thanksgiving for you. We gave you ways to get out of bad conversations. We've given you
Everything you need to have a very happy Thanksgiving.
a toolkit of sorts.
Where will you be?
I will be in Dania Beach. I'm going to be in Boca.
Always working.
I'm always working. I'm doing shows this weekend, and then I'm going to be taping the special the next week. So that's going to be, and then Phoenix, Oregon. I'm going to be Portland. Also, Australia tickets are out. Australia. And New Zealand.
You're gonna have a
Go
great
to New
time.
Zealand. Zealand.
Wow, as
Z-Town.
they call it in the biz.
That's what they call it. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to Mike's parents, Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
The town that Jordana shall crush. I thought of you, actually. There was a guy that...
You thought of me when someone destroyed a whole city?
No, he's a realtor. And I saw...
A ruthless...
Well, this guy has the same vision as you.
For Long Beach?
He was saying...
You steal my idea?
He's doing your thing. He's like, I'm the realtor that's going to turn Long Beach is the next Hamptons.
Dave,
Is what he's
I
promoting
believe
it
it.
as.
With the right team, this place, I'm securing Mike's inheritance.
I think you should get involved with this guy and start, buying
I'll do
up
the
real
marketing.
estate. Yeah, there's a thing
Yeah.
here. So enjoy your Thanksgiving, and to everyone out there in the U Up universe, to you and yours, ho, ho, ho. Merry Thanksgiving. Is that
Yeah, I'll take it.
The best
We can all use some
holiday of the year.
holiday cheer. Let's do it. All right, we'll be back on Friday.
Boom.
The U Up podcast is produced by Belle Roman and Candice Maniga. Edited by Belle Roman. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. VP of podcast is Chris Allen. And be sure to follow U Up at u.up.podcast.